was it 12 o'clock?
It's 5 o'clock somewhere.
5 o'clock. Hey, Damon, man, dude, we're live. Thank God it's Monday. Happy Monday, my friend. How was your weekend?
My weekend was awesome, Curt. I saw the video you sent me, though. Dude, was that a cold game or what?
It was. I was dressed appropriately, man. It was awesome. What a great, amazing experience. It was phenomenal. So, yes.
A snow football game in January.
In January. Hey, that's when, when you're in Buffalo, New York, that's what happens, dude. It's like, snow's in the air, hard-nosed football.
Yep.
It was just a great experience. So thank you. But dude, man, am I fired up for today.
I know.
Dude. I know you got like a new stand-up desk. You better be sitting down for this one.
I am.
Okay, good. All right. Well, I'm glad you're sitting down because we have an amazing, wonderful, incredible, man, just a great guest today. Shri Mahabir. Shri, how are you? Happy Monday. Thank you for joining us.
Happy Monday. I am doing amazing, and thank you for having me on. Hello, everybody who's watching the live, and hello to everybody who's catching the replay.
Absolutely, man. This is just going to be so good. So, Shri, I've been watching you from afar, and Damon and I, we've had the blessing of we had your partner in crime. We've had Charlene Brown on the program a couple times. And so I'm like, man, it is just so long overdue to have you on the program. So now let me just do a quick little intro, and then we're going to dig in. So now Next Level Consulting. Do I have that correct?
Yes.
I couldn't love that name more. I love that name. We're going to dig into that in a little bit. You are just a live stream visibility guru. You are just a video marketing producer and rock star. We're going to dig into all this stuff of how you got to here, Shri. But my first question for you today is this. Now, Shri, are you sitting down? I know Damon is. Are you sitting down for this? Are you ready? Are you ready?
Okay. I am super ready. I was trying to have my live streaming that's on. So I always have the live on my phone.
Yeah.
But you got to love the LinkedIn app. It was playing a little janky. So I was like, we'll just take care of it later.
We'll take care of it later. So here's my first question for you today. Little girl growing up, who was your hero? Who was your hero as a little girl growing up?
So my hero was my parents, so my mom and my dad. And then I also would say my brother at the time. And then I was also looking to, I knew about Maya Angelou. I knew about Martin Luther King. I knew about Gandhi. So these were the people that I was learning about and I was just fascinated with. I also had teachers that I was very inspired by. I had a 4th grade teacher named Mrs. Pritchett out in Birmingham, Alabama, that I still to this day I can remember going to class and really just enjoying being in her presence.
That is awesome.
Nice.
Man, that dude, that was a great lineup right there, Damon. Any comments? Gandhi, Martin Luther King, Mrs. Pritchard. Is that what you said?
Maya Angelou and Mrs. Pritchett.
Mrs. Pritchett. Just what a great lineup. Mom and Dad. Damon, what do you think of that?
Well, it just makes me realize how much of a slacker I really am. But
well, and how about Shri? Let's go here. How about mom and dad names, please? What are mom and dad's names?
Mom is Padmaja and dad is Ray. And my mom made an appearance in my live show. It was for the Facebook community. And so now I made a video. And so I posted it on LinkedIn. I'm going to post it on other platforms. So mom is about to go live. About to be famous without even doesn't have any social media. It's just whatever.
Well, hey, I absolutely love that. And I saw the post with mom in the background and she's going, "Hey, is that Nicole?" And you're like, "No, mom, I'm live."
Yeah.
So I was hoping mom would join us today. So if she doesn't join us, we send our love to mom and mom and dad did such an amazing job. Damon, what do you think?
Thank you.
Well, I just think of people because Shri, you've done, hundreds of live streams. And the thing that's funny is after you do a number of them, you just get used to that. You get used to the internet going out, hell, I've had people ringing the doorbell, knocking at the door, not wanting to do it, kids, dogs, wife, the whole 9 yards trying to interrupt. But what do you think is the oddest thing that's happened in all of your live streaming experiences?
The oddest?
Yeah.
Okay. So in the beginning, when I first went live on Instagram, I did have my daughter walk in, like she knew. So this is still new in the game. And so she walked in and then she walked out because she realized, she looked over and she was like,
Oops.
and she walked out. It was so hilarious. Now, it was odd that my mom, she's been part of this live streaming journey with me,
Yeah.
that she walked into the room.
Yeah.
And so I was just like, okay, what is she doing? And then
Yeah.
the funniest part is what you didn't see. She actually walked up and she stood right behind me and she was saying, "Hi, everybody."
That is
Awesome.
awesome. So that's fantastic. So Shri, you've become, you really have branded yourself as just a video marketing expert. And before we get there, I want to go back in a little bit of time to just like, how did we get here? So I'd love to hear, you mentioned teachers, Birmingham, Alabama. Talk about like your early stages career. I think you went to Florida International, if I'm not mistaken. So just post college, kind of like, dreams, aspirations, your career getting started, and then let's lead up to when you got your entrepreneurial journey started.
So, one part of my journey that I never shared, and I was thinking about it, is that I did my first radio interview and it did really, really well. And I would get paid on it.
Wow.
And it played on the air. I can't remember where, but it was in Birmingham.
Yeah.
And then in college, I was going to school in Miami. I had my daughter, but I did a degree in MIS, Management Information Systems and Marketing. I worked retail jobs, and then I realized, you know what, I can't do this alone. I was a single mom, so I moved to Houston. And through this journey, I've worked in sales mostly and as sales support. And even there was a stint that I wanted to become a pharmacist. And it was when I started working at the 9 to 5 I was with, which is in oil and gas. I had the opportunity to attend, because I had more time with my daughter when she was in high school. I attended one of the events at her school, and one of the parents had a media company, and I just grabbed the microphone. I just started interviewing people like it was nothing.
Right.
And then they said something. They said, "Don't stop." That's when I got conscious, and I was like, I don't like the way I look or sound.
Yeah.
But her husband came up to me and said, "I would like to work with you. You have this presence about you." So he taught me how to write a script. He taught me how to look at the camera and how to make the scene. And it got me thinking. So when I started my business in 2019, that's when I realized, oh, all of this kind of plays a role. But how do I get a studio to get testimonials? How do I this idea of hearing their journey was placed on my heart. Where do I do it? And then the pandemic happens, and I'm thinking to myself, how do I build visibility to my business? Everybody else seems to have the idea but me. And I see everybody, like from Jay Shetty to Ed Milet to Lewis Howes, even Gary Vee, they're going live. And I'm thinking, okay, how do I do this?
Yeah.
I see my friend going live on Instagram, and I knew I could do this because I knew her personally.
Yeah.
And that's when I started to go live on Instagram. I asked 9 people, 10 people said no. I knew how to ask questions. I knew how to build relationships with others. So it was easy for me once I started the ball rolling to get people to go live with me. But this is early 2020. Nobody was going live. Nobody was doing video. Many of the guests wanted to back out at the last minute. They were just petrified. But I had to put even my feelings of being scared, my feelings of not being comfortable. I didn't like the way I looked or sounded, but I had to put all of that aside to be there for them. And so in the first 100 lives were just about learning how to help others, putting my feelings aside. But at the same time, I was like, okay, I need to realize I can do this too. And next thing I know, in the 100th live, I realized I don't want to be doing my first business. I started working with a mentor who then helped me understand that I love helping people get in front of the camera so that they can share their story, build a spotlight, and even learn how to build awareness and visibility. It wasn't like that in the beginning. I'm continuing to learn. Now here's a new platform, LinkedIn.
Yeah.
I'm going live on LinkedIn. The 9 to 5 didn't like it. On December 16th, 2021, 9 days before Christmas, I got laid off. I even did a live with Russ that day. And I went and I was like, he was like, so what's going on in your world, Sri? And I said, well, I just got laid off and I'm here with you. And he was, the
On
things
LinkedIn
that
Live?
David said made, he was like, what?
You announced it right on LinkedIn Live.
I did.
You know, so Sri, let's jump in there real
Well,
quick, okay? And I thought that was your story because I was certain that I've read your post or I saw that in your bio somewhere about, you know, the 9 days before Christmas that a ball dropped and there was a layoff. So all right, so you mentioned, you know, you're in energy. I think you work at Ecolab, you know, so you had this wonderful, illustrious career, you know, financial analyst. And again, guys, we're here with Sri. Check out, I've dropped her LinkedIn profile. You absolutely want to connect with Sri. Just, man, you're just going to be thanking Damon and I later for just introducing you if you're not connected with Sri already. So Sri, so you have this great career, you know, you have corporate experience, you know, steady paycheck. Walk us through that day, like talking with Russ or like when also that layoff, like what were you going through? What were the emotions?
When I was that day, I had realized when I started my second business,
Yeah.
I knew that this was something big.
Yeah.
And I knew that this was something I was going to be able to leave a legacy to my daughter because in 2018, her father passed away. So it was really about leaving a legacy.
Nice.
It was really, really important to me. And all of these live shows are part of that legacy.
Mm-hmm.
Now, the business is just the real thing, because what if something happens to me, God forbid, she has something to fall back on.
Yeah.
So when I got laid off, it was the same thing. I was like, you know what? I walked out as an employee, but I walked into my house as an entrepreneur.
Nice.
I had built visibility, awareness, all this time on my social media platforms. People knew who I was. So that day when I said it to him, he was like, what? You got laid off? What? I had a few people reach out to me. And then the next day I made it official because I couldn't really say it until I signed the paperwork. And then that's when I announced, and that post went crazy. I had so many phone calls for weeks. My friends were checking on me for months. Like when I say months, almost 6 months, I had people just making sure I was okay. And I always thought about this. How many of us have built that awareness? We have a 9 to 5, yet how many of us are thinking about how else can I build a community if something were to happen? Because you don't wait until I lost my job to ask your community. You are engaging with them, you're building, and it's like car insurance. If you look at it, you're paying monthly and then something happens, you have the car insurance to help you out, but you don't know because you're putting into this bank. It's the same thing when you're posting on social media, commenting, engaging. And it's a little scary when you work a 9 to 5 because you have to be careful what you post, what you say. But there are ways around it where you can still be who you are. You can still show up. And even if you wanted to go live, there's still ways to do that without being flagged by the company that you're going live.
Absolutely. So hey, I want to give a shout out. Diane is with us today.
Here.
Diane, hey, she's down in Philly. How about Go Eagles, right? Had a great weekend.
We've
got David Chrysler in the house here.
Hey, Dave.
David, I'll tell you, and David, dude, man, my respect and admiration for Dave Chrysler. Dave, love you, brother. Love you, Diane. So, guys, anybody out there, drop us a note. Let us know that you're there. Let us know where you're coming from. Again, you want to connect with Sri. Damon, did you have something to chime in right there?
No, listening.
What I want to unpack quickly there, Sri, what I admire what you did is, you know, and Damon, we saw this firsthand with Dan Bigger. We've seen this with a lot of other friends here on LinkedIn, is, you know, being proactive and branding yourself, getting your name out there, Sri. So, I mean, that took courage for you to, as an employee, to be putting yourself out there, right? Now you have a great personality to do so. What inspired you to start putting yourself out there as an employee? And then once that entrepreneurial switch flipped, talk about like game on, man. It was next level. I love the name of your business. But so take us through like what started you, when you were working that 9 to 5, and then slide it. Let's dig deep into your entrepreneurial journey. I want to hear about your superpowers and what you do to make, man, you're just making this world a better place. I want to hear about it.
Yeah.
At first, I didn't even know my superpowers. This is why I was diving deep into this entrepreneurial journey, the side hustle, because I was thinking about, I'm in oil and gas. We can get laid off at any point. At least I have something to fall back on. And so at the time in 2019, when I really started, it was like, okay, what if tomorrow I get laid off? I have this, which was I was doing food deliveries, and I was also starting the business. Then when the live streaming started, I really didn't know what I was doing. The first 50 Instagram lives, they were pretty much the worst things you ever saw, but they were funny. They were me trying to figure out how all of this is. And that's when I started to understand. I love helping people, and this is common for all of us, but it's how can you take somebody who is so afraid of being on camera, who doesn't like the way they look, doesn't like the way they sound, fear of judgment of what others say, and get them to be live with you and forget about everything, all of that. Yeah. And this was what I really honed in on every time I brought a guest. And it is now what I just fall into. When you go live, it's not about you. It's about them. It's about their experience. It's about the viewer's experience. What is it that they're getting out of this live? Because at the end of the day, if you're going live and you're always talking about yourself, then why should they tune in? But if they feel like, okay, through your journey and the moments that it was the hardest, like last year, I learned to become an entrepreneur. I learned I was the reason that I was not seeing the success. And I learned that my mindset, my limiting beliefs, the deeper limiting beliefs were the reasons why some of the things didn't come to fruition. And I do believe God always, he knows when you're ready for that success. Yep. So if I had gotten it much sooner than I needed it, then I wouldn't be ready for it. So this is something that took me time, but by going live, by talking to people, by even getting some top heavy hitters, like some of you may know him, some of you don't. Jeff Fenster, he's the CEO and founder of Everbull. I mean, he's got Drew Brees as one of his partners in his business and a franchisee owner. He's also in the LA Raiders stadium. Like, he's big time. When I met him, he was building this. I also had a very influential lawyer on. I also had another influencer that's big on LinkedIn. And so I wasn't even expecting this. Why did they go live with me? How do you get people like that to go live with you? Well, you build relationships. You get them to see who you are. And once they get to know, then it's easy to bring them on. But I also learned everybody wants the big names. But what about the Shrees of every day who's starting their business? What about the Damons? What about the Curts? What about the Russes who are making a difference in their community and have a story and have a journey? I mean, we some of you know Russ Hedge, some of you don't, and he has cancer, and we're on his journey.
Yeah.
And how many of us have family members or have felt that? Or in my case, I had a brother, he passed away. And so on his birthday, I talked about it. The day of his death, I think it was hard for me to talk about it, so I didn't. So same thing with my ex-husband. We might have had a family member who was alive and then they passed away suddenly. I mean, these are real stories. How do you get through that? And you're running a business. And if you are emotionally in that state of mind, you don't want to post. You don't want to talk to people. You don't even want to do your work. And it's okay. You take a day and you say, okay, this is what happened. But I also learned people have patterns. So if you've gone through this and you notice your patterns, you're talking about it. And you're saying, this is how I got through my patterns. And I identified it. And this is what's helped me to be able to be successful. But these are the stories that, how many times can you hear it and not get tired of it? You might hear it from Curt, you might hear it from Damon, but you have two different perspectives. And yes, I would love to have a Mike Tyson, an LL Cool J, and all of these big names. But I also like the guy from down the street who's building his business and is able to give jobs and employ others on his team. That to me is pretty powerful as well.
Okay. Street. So we call at, so on this little program, since it's lunchtime, you know, in many, several time zones, even Damon, you know, it might be like mid-morning breakfast, coffee break or whatever. We call it like, hey, this is like a little moment of silence where we just need to savor, like, you know, like you walk in the kitchen, you're savoring that smell, you know, so we just want to savor this brilliance that you just dropped, right?
Yeah.
So you dropped a couple of mic drops. You had a couple of mic drops there that we've got to unpack that real quick. You know, I love the line, when the student is ready, the teacher appears.
Yeah.
When the student is ready, the teacher appears. How many times, you know, Damon, I'm 54. I've said like, boy, I wish I knew, you know, what you know that whole thing.
Yeah.
Right? So Sri, what I love, you know, when you shared your faith, like, you know, God knew when you were ready. And so, you know, and just think if that 9 to 5 still existed, it was interfering with your superpower.
Yeah.
It was interfering with you maximizing, making the world a better place with next level consulting. And what a favor they did for you on December 16th in 2021, right? Probably didn't feel that way when you went live with Russ that day.
No, I wasn't.
Right?
I was mad.
But now, you know, 12, 13 was that. Let's do the math. 13 months later, do you feel that they did you a favor, or what do you think there?
I think, no, I knew it was a blessing on the day. I knew this, every closed door is an opening to a new door. Mm-hmm. And what that new door will bring, we don't know. And so now I learned from last year, I really needed to walk through that door. Otherwise I wouldn't be here. Even I have moments, like there's probably some of us who are like, well, I don't know. There are people who are better than me. If I put this video out or if I go live. And so I love Joel Osteen. So for those who are not a big fan of Joel Osteen, I understand. But when I read this, I was like, yes, I get it. If you'll change that image of low self-esteem, being inferior, you'll change your life. If you'll have the right inner vision and see yourself as strong, talented, anointed, favored, with a bright future, then you'll reach the fullness of your destiny. If I had read that same quote last year, it would have gone over my head. I wasn't ready for it. And today I'm actually ready for it. Yes, yesterday I was talking to somebody, a very close friend of mine. And I said, well, I don't think I'm that good. But it's comparing. Why? Why am I comparing? There's nothing to compare other than who was Shri last year. Last year I was sad. I was crying. It was a hard thing. You got laid off. I got laid off. I was with the company for 4 years. And I was so used to the work life, working for corporate. And here I am, the opportunity to change that and make something for myself. So for anybody who just got laid off, just know you have this opportunity to learn something new. If you want to go live, you can go live. If you want to create videos, you can create videos. If you want to start to learn how to leverage LinkedIn, do it. Take the time, because before you know it, opportunities will come. For you, Curt and Damon, like, when was the first time that you got your first client on LinkedIn?
I don't even know.
Yeah, we're like,
I don't even know. I mean, you know, people talk about the power of social media, and only if you do it long enough and truly focus on giving will you realize the benefits of it. And I can't even tell you when the first time was for me.
Yeah. I mean, Damon, I think I've been on LinkedIn since 2007. So, you know, we're on the older side street, you know, so you've been on, I think, before myself. And so, you know, it's funny how LinkedIn and that, you know, how Damon and I became fast friends is LinkedIn. And I mean, we could go into like a whole, you know, diatribe on the power of LinkedIn, or, you know, wherever your ideal customer, where your community is hanging out. Now, Shri, I know like you're super active on Instagram. We're going to talk about your Facebook group. So, I mean, you're hitting multiple platforms. And what I love is, like, if I'm not mistaken, I think in your headline, you have like top 15 coaches in Houston influence. So, hey, how about a little round of
There you
applause
go.
there for Sri, Miss, relentless entrepreneur. And, so just doing all sorts of things. And I also think I saw that you're helping over 60 entrepreneurs. And so just think about this, Sri. And so, Damon, I asked you earlier, so if anybody didn't is just coming in now, you're still sitting down, right? You're
Yes,
still
I am.
Okay, here's a few things that people say about
That's good.
Sri. Okay, a few things that people say about Sri. Sri, are you ready?
I'm ready.
By dynamic and personable, Sri is amazing. Strongly recommend her masterclass. This, and we've talked about Russ Hedge, and boy, if you guys aren't following Russ, strongly encourage you check out Russ. He's just what an inspiration. He's battling cancer. He's sharing his journey with his folks, and Sri is awesome to work with. And again, if you guys connect with, bless you, Damon, if you connect with Sri, please do check out the testimonials. And so, Sri, the other day, if I'm not mistaken, you were interviewing a gentleman named Jay. He calls himself the Sales Ninja. Did I catch that? And you guys, you were talking exactly about what you were just talking about, like, building that trust, having that confidence, eliminating like that self-doubt or discouragement or those types of things. Because like, and I'll stop on this. I believe you have 2 words for 2023. Do I have that correct? You have 2 words, 2023. I think one of them might be consistency. Do I have that correct?
Consistency.
The second one is belief. Do I have that correct?
Yes.
Okay. I couldn't love those 2 words more. Damon, it's like a 4 drop the mic moment, I think.
Yeah.
Already. I don't even know what time it's at. But Sri, talk about, so I unpacked a lot right there. Okay. You're sharing with folks your entrepreneurial journey, how you're beating this, self-doubt. You shared a great, amazing quote from Joel Osteen. Man, please go back and rewind and catch that one. Let's hit your 2 words. Let's hit consistency and belief, and how like you've turned a corner as an entrepreneur, how you're helping dozens and dozens of entrepreneurs pull out the best selves, their best selves. I'll stop on that. Please take it from there.
The 2 words came because towards the end of the year, the first word that I had for the year was just becoming aware. And I can't even remember what the word was because I felt like it just changed, but it really was the word that I needed for 2022 was just learning to be this entrepreneur. And then this year, it's like, okay, you did the work. So why are you saying that you're not good enough? You're good enough. You're fine. It's now believing that even whatever that I do. And so this is what I am bringing to anybody who works with me. Currently, I'm in a 21-day video challenge. So the participants, the clients that are in there, they've been posting video for 21 days. And so they've learned how to create videos. So they're engaging, learning how to use CapCut to edit. And I'm making them, not making them, but I'm giving them the prompts to help them speak to their potential client, and it's stretching them. And they all say, wow, it's a lot, but you've really helped us see things. And that's the part of the consistency, because you've got to believe in yourself that you can do this. I actually had a client in the challenge who, when she got the feedback, was like, okay, I don't know. And I said, well, look, we all start somewhere. I'm not trying to, it's not about the person who created it. It's about the video. How can we make it better for you? She shared in the group what she was feeling. The group came and supported her, and now she's a rock star. So these are the things, like she even said, I had to come into believing and being consistent. So I'm not just saying the words, I'm living the words. Right. I'm showing you. It's not easy to show up sometimes talking about a topic that is still quite new, but I know about it, meaning I know about live streaming. I know about live podcasting, but now I have to get into the nitty gritties. Why should you be there? How can it help you? It's not just, yeah, this is what you do. You just show up and then people come. No, why is it? What's the science behind it? Let's get into that. And so there's some things that are stretching me outside of my comfort zone, helping you walk. Some of you are probably like, I don't know, this is just too crazy. But the reason why you do what you do is if you continue where you are, you're going to get the same results. But if you are trying to get to the next level, you've got to put in work that you've never done before. I've been reading this book by David Goggins. He did a 250-mile run. He had a broken foot. Like, he's had so many things that happened on that run, yet he still continued. And he even says in there, I could do this, or I can push myself and do things differently. There was a time period when he did the first 250 and the next 250, and he even changed how he did his therapy and his strength and endurance training. And that's why he was able to do what he did. And it's the same thing for us. We can continue to have the same results where we're just making just enough. Or we could say, you know what, let's just step out of our comfort zone. Let me try something new. I love this topic, this one particular topic. Let me talk about it. Let's see what gets people going. Next thing you know, now people want you to write a book. They want you to do a series on it.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Let's unpack a couple things. Damon, hey, we've got an amazing guest coming up on Friday. We've got Keaton. So Keaton, happy Monday to you, my friend. Thank you for joining us. Dude, you want to absolutely connect with Sri. And Keaton is a budding, young, inspiring entrepreneur, Sri. So he's a great dude. How about Diane? Go Egos, and she's sending love. And we've got Garen here today. Garen, thank you for joining us.
What's up, Garen?
Talking about David Goggins with his crazy story. So, all right, let's.
Since we're talking about Garen, I want to give a shout out to Garen because he sent me this bag that has helped me so much. It's Micro Studios.
Nice.
So it's helped me a lot keep myself as a live streamer. I'm always going somewhere, and you can always live stream anywhere, and that has helped me keep myself together because having 50 bags does not work.
Yeah. Well, hey, Garen, thank you. That was great. And so, hey, Garen, get your bags out there, man. Drop them in our chat box. Let people know what you've got going. People would love to see them. So, all right, let's go here. So, Sri, you decided you start doing one LinkedIn Live. Totally stretch yourself, kind of like that. Get out of your comfort zone. Damon and I, we like to call it getting courageously uncomfortable, right? Courageously uncomfortable. You are now streaming 4 days a week. Can you please talk about your schedule and our dear friend Charlene Brown, great, one of our guests here on a program, Russ Hedge. Talk about your 4 different shows and what's going on there.
The funny story about all the live streaming shows all came from one show, Journey of an Entrepreneur. So all of my guests who have been on there, Charlene, we did one show, people loved it. So then we started going live on Tuesday evenings, 8 p.m. Central Standard Time, 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. It's called Sip and Chat. And we bring on entrepreneurs, and you can lay back, bring your choice of beverage. It doesn't matter. Nobody cares. And we just talk about the entrepreneur, their journey, and just have a fun time. Yep. And then Wednesday is with Russ. Russ was a guest on my show on Journey of an Entrepreneur, and it's with D. Scott. It's on Instagram. It's at 8:30 Central Standard Time AM and 9:30 Eastern Standard Time. This is right before they go live on the experience, but it's called Backstage Experience on Instagram. And then we have my show, Journey of an Entrepreneur, where we start on LinkedIn and then we hop over to Instagram. So we start here at 6:10 p.m. Central Standard Time and 7:10 Eastern Standard Time on Thursdays. And then Friday, my co-host Karina, she was a guest on my show. And then we decided, hey, we love our Friday. It was I think it was a Friday too. And we love the conversation that we were having, catching up about the week, talking about limiting beliefs and getting past things that we as adults face sometimes, but we don't talk about. And that's that show. And so we started it on Instagram. And so now we've brought, we start on Instagram and then we come over to LinkedIn. So yes, the shows may have started on Instagram, but they've all come over to LinkedIn, and they were all, I can proudly say they were all a guest of mine on the show first.
That is, and look at how this has changed your life. Now you offer a Facebook group. So I want to talk about building community. Okay. Look at what these live streams have done for you, the relationships. Charlene, we've talked about Russ, your other co-hosts. and just, talk about building community. You're also doing it with Facebook, your Facebook community. You talked earlier, in case anybody missed it, that mom walked in on you recently, and just like you have like your peeps in that crowd, and and what you're doing is you're the go-giver. You're the servant leader of just like help. You're just, man, your enthusiasm is just so contagious, and you're just helping entrepreneurs just be better. Talk about how important it's been to you, for your business, on really dedicating yourself to building community.
Community has helped me get through tough times. I didn't realize the impact until the first time my daughter went off to college and everybody was there to help me. I would cry every day. I was crying all the time, even on some of the lives. And one moment got really dark and I shared it. And next thing I knew, I had phone calls. When I lost my job, the community reached out. And this was just me reaching out, building relationships. Then came, I wish in the beginning of my journey in 2020, there was a community. There was a place where I could share videos, that I could get feedback, that I could go live in, because I'm not comfortable yet, but I want to practice. And I realized, let me build that community. Let me build that Facebook community. And now that's what we do. We have people come in there. I give them a prompt weekly and they can create a video, get feedback, ask questions. And I go live every Wednesday based on what are they asking for. Sometimes it's about they want to learn CapCut. They want to learn how to use Restream. They want to learn what are the best tips for live streaming. How do you write a script for a video? This is all in the group, and I go live every Wednesday. I even started doing a networking event, and now they're already asking, when's the next networking event? So you can actually, we're not on live, we're just in a Zoom, and we can connect with each other, because it's not about just, okay, we're in this group. It's more about building and fostering relationships. I've seen in front of my eyes, people have, from Journey of an Entrepreneur, they have collaborated. They have started business with each other, or they're doing business with each other. They even started their own business because of watching the lives. So this has been something that I was like, okay, now let's build this community. And so that's just what the Facebook community is. And I'm always asking anybody who wants to level up their video skills, wants to connect with others, even learn tips to go live, or is thinking about, let me just practice somewhere, come and join this free Facebook community.
Well, I absolutely love that. So is multiple options here. Folks can join you in where I want to go, Sri. So Damon and I, our crowd, our peeps, manufacturers. That's who we sing to. We don't sing, but that's who, if we did sing, that's who we'd sing to. But so it's like, it's solo, a lot of solo marketers. Maybe it's solopreneurs, and they feel alone. They're in a silo. They're trying, and marketing gets so overwhelming. Should I do social? Should I do pay-per-click, email marketing, video? It's just like it's just so much. And so that's why it's great, like bringing in a guru like yourself on, like, hey guys, if you do this, these are the results, and how you're building that community. What's some advice that you have for that solo marketer that's out there, that maybe they're at a manufacturer of 20, 30, 50, 100 employees, or maybe they've invented their own product. So they're a solopreneur manufacturer. They've created a product that solved their own problem. Now they have a little momentum, and they're trying to, budget is tight. They're trying to get some momentum behind them. What's some advice that you would share for those solo marketers or solopreneurs in the manufacturing space on how to really get things started here?
So the first thing is understanding, who are you speaking to? Define that one person, because regardless if you're creating a video or going live, you're always talking to that one person.
Right.
So once you know that one person, then it's, okay, do I want to start with video? Because I don't want to start the live streaming show. I want to see what are people asking for? What do they want to know? Is it they want to know my story? Yes. They want to know what's behind this reason why you created this product. How will it help their pain points? What are your journey? And then comes the live streaming show. Now, I have some clients who are like, I want to do it all. I want to have the story plus the live streaming show. And that's what the done for you part is. And my team and I can do that in the agency. As for if you're going to do it yourself, there is the 12-week one-on-one coaching where I walk you through this process from why are you not showing up on camera? And how does creating these videos can help you in other areas such as public speaking, being able to explain yourself and storytelling when you're a guest on a podcast or on a live streaming show. We think that video is only about just building visibility. It also helps us in even holding us accountable. Like one of my things is I'm holding myself accountable in the way that I appear. I don't like that I have puffy cheeks, and that's because of what I'm eating. So that means I got to put myself and watch what I eat. And it's a journey. There's so many things that video can help you with, because once you get past, I don't like the way I look, I don't like the gray hair showing, you start to realize, okay, I've got this product. I've got this story with the product, but how can I reach more people? Invite them to your videos, invite them to your live streaming shows. I've seen live streaming events where companies are inviting their potential clients to be able to ask questions. Hey, tell me more about this. How does it work? Why should I purchase it? How will it help me and my team? What is it going to do? What's the transformation? We all want to know, what's the transformation? What's that like? You will be able to do that in a live streaming show. Will you get sales? Maybe, but you will now find people who will keep showing up. What I wish I knew before is learning that it takes a while. And what does that while look like? For some people, it could be one time. For some people, it could be 90 days. And for some people, it could be a year. But nobody told me that. They just kind of like, you just got to show up. But you can make things happen. You will get people asking, oh my gosh, I want to buy that. I want it now. But you will also get people who are like, I want to see how it works. I want to see what are the flaws in it? And then I will invest in it. And I know we hate those people who take forever, but remember, the people who take forever are the ones that stay longer. That's just my personal experience.
Man, oh my God. That was so good. There's not even a comment after that. Shri, that was just really phenomenal. Shri, do you have any advice for guys that, like, I'm asking for a friend, guys that are little hair challenge, that are like, how do you do on video? Well, I'll ask you, it's for a buddy of mine. We'll talk about it after. So anyway, so we'll wind down, Shri. I know I'm keeping you over. This is just such a phenomenal, incredible conversation. Guys, if anything else, first off, you want to connect with Shri. Number two, check out Shri's Facebook community. Great group of people. We're just, working together relentlessly on how to better yourselves, how to get your message. Shri, one of our taglines, stop being the best kept secret, right? Let's get ourselves out there. You and Jay, when you're on your live the other day, you were talking about building that trust, establishing those relationships, educating folks, just going on and on. You do one-on-one consulting. You have done for you consulting opportunities. You have your masterclass. So there's just a wealth of opportunity to connect with Shri, and just really, you just got a little taste. Plus, Shri, again, 4 days a week you're streaming. Is that what you said?
I am streaming on one of these platforms Tuesday through Friday. So
Tuesday through Friday.
You can find me.
If you didn't get enough of Shri, and I don't know how on earth anybody could, but if you didn't get enough of Shri, boy, check her out Tuesday through Friday. So Shri, I want to be mindful of everybody's time as we come into home plate here. Quick question for you. Damon, I'll go here. Damon, you ready? Okay. So you mentioned your daughter, you mentioned mom and dad. So as we kicked off the program, I asked, who's your hero? Okay. Who was your hero as a little girl growing up? You mentioned Joel Osteen, Gandhi, Martin Luther King, your teacher. I mean, just a wealth of just great heroes to look up to. Coming in 2023, again, just to recap, 2 words: belief, consistency. Who or what is your inspiration for 2023 that you're just going to crush your goals this year? Who or what is your inspiration for 2023?
It will never change, and it will always be the same person, or maybe 1 or 2 others, but it's always God. And then there's always my daughter, because at the end of the day, it's always about her. If I can't make, she doesn't have anybody else but me. And minus the fact we do have extended family, but at the end of the day, it's just her and I. So It's always going to be about her. So if I give up, I'm giving up on her. And I'm not going to do that.
Dude. Dropped it. Well, I lost count. Damon, I'm gonna have to go back and replay this. I think that was like
we have to get that
right there. So Shri, what's your daughter's name, please?
Savina.
So all right. We want to give a shout out to mom and dad. We want to give a shout out to Savina. So, and we want to give a shout out to you. So guys, if you've been hanging out with us, man, I think we're like 45 minutes. If you want to, like, you know, great time to stretch, stand up. Let's give a standing ovation for Shri. Is just an absolute rock star. Shri. And the thing, like, this is the first time you and I have met, and I had such high expectations for you. I'm like, I was telling Damon, I'm like, Damon, I found somebody that is going to be amazing on our program, and you still crushed all expectations. So I know you're busy. Thank you for sharing your superpowers, your passion, your energy with us. This was just a gift. What a blessing of time to spend with you. I'm looking forward. I hope we have a long friendship and great relationship, collaborate together. I'd love to be working with you. So Shri, any place else everybody can find you, connect with you, reach out to you?
So my link tree is there. You can connect with me here on LinkedIn. You can connect with me on Instagram, TikTok, Facebook. I'm even on Twitter. And you're ready. If you're thinking about video, or you're saying, you know what, I need to do it, make sure, come reach out. And if you're still on the fence, you're like, I don't know, she's just like everybody else, I always say, join the Facebook community. Check it out for yourself, and you will see what you like, what you don't like, and we'll go from there.
Nice.
Awesome.
Nice.
Damon, any words of wisdom, parting thoughts, anything that I don't know how to top this, but anything that you want to share?
No, I'm just sitting here in awe.
Just sitting here in awe. So what a Damon, we like, man, we just get to absorb all this.
We're just lucky. I mean, we're lucky. We're blessed to be able to do this.
It's a blessing to be here with you guys. And you know what? I'm also going to give a shout out to a few other video coaches that are out there who are killing it. There's Nasheen Chen, and she helps you using video to become a public speaker. There is Harrison, and he's from like the UK. He helps you. There's also Lefty. I call him Lefty. And there's just so many people out there.
Yeah.
Do your homework. And at the end of the day, you can be my friend and go work with someone else. I actually encourage you to, because I'm not for everybody, and I know that. And I'm okay with that.
Yeah. Well, this was a blessing. You know what, Shri, I always say, you know, even though my mom thinks I'm for everybody, I know I'm not, you know, but and one last comment I want to make is back to your daughter. Damon and I are huge girl dads, and it was just such, man, you just warmed our heart. So guys, we're going to wind down. I know everybody's super busy. So guys, thank you. Everybody dropped a comment, everybody that joined us today. If you're catching this on replay, boy, thank you. You absolutely want to connect with Shri, connect with Damon, connect with myself. We'd love to hear what's going on in your world. We just, every week in, week out, Damon and I have the great fortune of bringing gurus and rock stars on this program just to share their brilliance, their expertise, their enthusiasm, just like you caught here with Shri. So Shri, thank you. God bless you. God bless your family. And guys, go out and just be someone's inspiration, man. This was just so inspiring. And Shri, I could go on forever. So guys, have a great week. We've got Keaton, Damon, we've got Keaton and Cassie from IMEC hitting the stage on Friday. That's the Manufacturing Extension Partnership out of Illinois. We'll see you guys on Friday. And Shri, hang out with us for 1 second. And guys, have a great rest of your week. Thank you.
See ya.